tomorrow night, the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra 2019-20 concert season begins with the Chooi brothers. Nikki and Timothy, both talented virtuosos performing in tangos and tempests, a thunderous start to the MCO year. I'm excited to say that both have joined me in the studio this morning. Hello, welcome back to Classic 107, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Such a pleasure to have you back. It was just over a year and a half ago that I had the chance to interview you both. You were on tour with pianist Philip Chooi as part of Prairie Debut.
Yep.
I take it you both haven't been up to much since? Haven't won any international violin competitions or been appointed concertmasters anywhere? Just a lot of TV watching, I guess? I don't know. What have you guys been up to lately?
Go ahead.
Well, it's been a really exciting past year and a half. A lot of things have happened. First of all, I graduated from the Juilliard School with my master's program. Thank you. And then I think just a few months after I did the Prairie Debut, I was in Germany competing at the Joseph Joachim International Violin Competition in Hanover, and very, very happily won the first prize. And then a few months later, I continued and went to the Queen Elizabeth competition in Belgium and won the second prize. So that both of them was probably the highlight of the past year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was doing a little recap, and it was you were here in March, and then in September, you were a winner of the Canada Council of the Arts Music Instrument Bank. There was that. You get to play on a Stradivarius. No big deal there. The Windsor, right?
The Windsor.
It's here with you in the studio. And then October, like you mentioned, the Joachim, and then the Queen Elizabeth in May. How does it all feel? Does it feel real, kind of thinking back on it now?
No, I mean, it doesn't feel real in any sense because I realized I spent a lot of time in Europe and the year just really went by so fast that I'm still trying to process it a little bit. And I think it's just really exciting to look back and soak in all the events that just happened recently. And there's a lot of things that are coming out of it as well. So I'm looking forward to fulfilling those debuts.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. I mean, like, winning an international violin concerto competition is a big deal. Placing in two of them just over half year apart, I mean, that's an even bigger deal. I don't mean to be like cliche or hyperbolic, but has it changed your life in any way, Timmy? Like,
definitely, it's changed my life a lot in the sense that it has put me and really propelled me into the international stage in terms of my career. The competitions were filmed by a lot of national televisions, and it's out there. So in some senses, my performances have been reaching out to different audiences that I've never have had or would have access to. In terms of debuts, it comes with a lot of really important debuts coming in Europe, especially over the next 3 years, 4 years. So that, in my sense, is really a game changer for me, and also just my routine. And also coming out of school, it's really been a nice way to really start my career and put me on the map.
No doubt. I mean, just an even brighter spotlight on you and your career, and you're just such a great ambassador for the Canadian musical scene as well. You both are. This concert billed as two prize fighters entering the MCO ring. I didn't write the copy, but I love it. The other heavyweight being your older brother, Nikki. Let's get him on the mic now. Nikki, you too have some pretty big news since we last spoke.
Yes.
Appointed concertmaster of the Buffalo Philharmonic.
Yes.
Congrats on that.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited. It's it was, you play with different orchestras, and for some reason, you just know it when there's a really nice fit. I was only there for a week to guest with them, and it was great chemistry with the music director, Joanne Falletta, and the rest of the band, and I'm really excited. So unfortunately, I missed their opening week, which was just this past weekend, because I had all these commitments that were arranged beforehand. So I'm really excited to be playing with them their second Classics week, which is coming up during first week of October, and a familiar face will be appearing as well. James Ennis is soloist.
No way. Lots of Canadian connections.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
And you're taking over from Dennis Kim, who was there before, also another Canadian, right? So there's a strong Canadian contingent in Buffalo. You mentioned it a little bit. You've been a past concertmaster of the Met Opera Orchestra. No big deal. Accompanying Renee Fleming, whose brochure we still have here, who was just in town. You were in Houston, in Pittsburgh, in Sydney. What are you most looking forward to about Buffalo? I mean, you spoke to it a little bit, but is there something in particular where you felt it jive?
Not in particular. Just it was the time I visited, it was the first time going to Buffalo, and it was such a during the spring and summer, and it was such a beautiful time of the year. And I'm looking forward. I heard it's pretty cold during the winter.
Yeah, so, a little chilly, I think.
So growing up in Victoria, it's going to be interesting to adjust to the cold.
Yeah, and you get to play in a pretty nice concert hall
That's
too.
That's true. It's a great concert hall.
I think it's a National Historic Site too. It's like it is really something stunning. So before you make your way to Buffalo and before Timothy jets off to the next major international competition or debut in Europe, you're here in Winnipeg to perform with the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra and their season opening concert titled Tangos and Tempests. Let's start with the stormy Bach double concerto, a must-hear for two violinists on the stage. You've performed the work together before, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah. Well, we first performed it as really young kids. So in the Suzuki method, that's the method we grew up on. Like I think when you reach book level 3 or 4, there's like the first and second violin part. So we played it. We played it then, during our elementary school years. But I would say the first time we performed it was probably 2013 with the Edmonton Symphony?
Well, we played in Highland Park first.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
and then Edmonton was our sort of debut.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah.
We played it many times.
We played it many times. We brought it to Malaysia. We brought it to California, to Chile, to many different places.
Traveled a lot.
But I don't think we haven't played it for about a year, right? So it'll be nice and fresh.
Yeah, no kidding, nice and fresh. Timothy, for you, does it bring out a sort of like brotherly competition, like in the healthiest way, the Bach? Like, what does it do for you to get up there and perform with your brother beside you?
Yeah, I think every single piece that we play has a different relationship with me and my brother, especially the Bach double, just because Bach itself is such an opinionated composer. So we have fun discussing the differences and finding a compromise.
So how do your opinions differ in terms of the Bach double?
Well, also the thing is that our opinions always change as well.
Yeah,
so it's never the same.
Evolving artists.
It's always evolving, and it always depends on what orchestra we're playing with as well. Because the thing with Bach is that it's such early music that it has so much opinions that have grown out of it from many musicians in different schools. So we're constantly being exposed by that and constantly being confused by that as well.
Yeah.
So we have to sort that out in every single rehearsal. So for me, it just feels like it's just a time to discuss our opinions in a musical way, and we're always very civil.
Yeah. What a healthy thing that is. I think when you were last in, I was watching the interview, and Philip Chooi described kind of your take on music sometimes as a magic carpet ride. You're always on a different sort of voyage. So this just sounds like we're on another trip.
Yeah.
From the Bach, you go to the Piazzolla, the king of the tango, another stormy little work, the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Piazzolla, a prolific writer. This one of his most ambitious concert works. Nikki, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's obviously based loosely on Vivaldi's Four Seasons, infused with his type of writing, which is towards the tango style. So lots of tango rhythms, dance-like themes, and the harmonies. That's what I love most about it. It's got you just know it's tango once you hear it. I'll be playing. I'll be playing spring and winter, and you'll be playing
summer and autumn.
Yeah.
But in the seasons of Buenos Aires, so it's not like winter. It's not like winter here where it's cold. So it's
I mean, the Vivaldi is so pictorial, very very literal. Whereas this one just feels more like he's trying to evoke some sort of a mood of Argentina and how it feels. This is the Desyatnikov arrangement, right, for the violin, because there's so many different versions that stems from his collaboration with Guidon Kramer. What's the violin writing like for you to perform? Do you enjoy it? Is there something really to sink your teeth into?
Definitely. This piece is, when you hear it, it sounds so hard to. It sounds first of all, it just screams tango music once I heard the recording, and I always wonder how is it notated. But the way it's notated as a script,
we're good. Coffee almost went over. Yeah.
The way that it's notated, it's so clear that as long as you just follow it, it all sounds like tango music already, which is amazing for me because you really don't have to learn the rhythms itself and per se like. Learning it from a master or something. You just read it literally, and it's all notated in a way, and it's very simple for the violin actually to execute it. So for me, that's I've always loved this piece, and I just can't wait to play it because I haven't played it that much.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever danced a tango before?
I've tried.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Not good.
Yeah, you'd rather play a tango than dance it?
No, I was at my old university. We had a winter party, and we always bring a dance teacher. And one year was tango. It's hard.
It's definitely a tough dance. I mean, I'm no expert to say the very least. I guess the last thing I want to ask you guys is, do you find any parallels between these two works? Like when I was thinking about it, I mean, like we're obviously in two very different periods, but both so dance driven. I mean, so much of the Baroque era is driven by dance. This too, a tango like we've been talking about. How do you feel like the two balance each other, Nikki?
Balance each other. I
or
guess
not.
It's like. I would say it balances each other by going from one end of the spectrum to the other. Bach being from the Baroque era, and it kind of set the standard of Western classical music. And Piazzolla, from what I've read, him having studied the classical music way of composition, but then infusing what his background is, taking that to his roots. So yeah, those are the connections to writing.
It's a pretty stellar program. You guys are both going to be on full display. Before you go, you've brought your violins with you.
Yes, we did.
What are we going to hear? You guys going to be performing in studio?
We'll be playing one of the Shostakovich pieces. So
for two violins.
For two violins.
All right. So Timmy and Nikki set up in the studio. I will let you know that you can see the Chooi Brothers in Tangos and Tempests, the 2019-20 Manitoba Chamber Orchestra season opener tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. at Westminster United Church. There is also a matinee beginning at 1. For more information, you can visit the mco.ca, and keep tuned as I'm going to have a pair of tickets to give away to the evening performance. First, though, a 107 Live performance by the Chooi Brothers.